ancestors?
Graves.
Were they sitting around the graves of their friends? No, not really. They were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors.
The day of the dead ancestor.
Who was sitting around the graves?
Who was sitting around the graves?
That's right. Families were sitting around the graves.
Family.
Whose graves were they sitting around?
Were they sitting around?
Whose graves were they sitting around?
Was they sitting?
Yes, their dead ancestors. Their ancestors.
The ancestor.
Their ancestors' graves.
The ancestor.
They were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Were they sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors? Or the graves of their friends? Ancestors, right? They were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. They cleaned the graves and added fresh flowers. Who cleaned the graves?
Who cleaned the fresh?
That's right, the families.
The family.
What did they add?
What did they add?
They added fresh flowers.
Fresh flower.
Did they add
food?
No, they didn't add food. Did they add
money?
No, they didn't add money. They added fresh flowers.
They added fresh flowers.
What did they clean?
What did they clean?
They cleaned the graves.
The graves.
Whose graves did they clean?
Did they clean?
Right? Their ancestors, right? They cleaned their ancestors' graves.
They cleaned ancestors.
Where did they add flowers? Where? Oh, they added flowers to the graves. That's right. They cleaned the graves and added fresh flowers. Very good. I walked through the cemetery and admired the beauty of all the colorful flowers. Where did I walk?
Where did I walk?
Through the cemetery. I walked through the cemetery. Did I walk through the park?
Through the park?
No, I didn't walk through the park. I walked through the cemetery.
Through the cemetery.
Where did I walk?
Where did I walk?
Through the cemetery.
Through the cemetery.
Who walked through the cemetery?
The cemetery. I did.
I did. AJ. I walked through the cemetery.
Through the cemetery.
Did I walk through the cemetery? Or did I walk through the park?
Or I walk through the park.
I walked through the cemetery. That's right.
That's right.
And I admired the beauty of all the colorful flowers. Did I admire the beauty of the trees? No. I didn't admire the beauty of the trees. Did I admire the beauty of the children? No, I didn't admire the beauty of the children. What did I admire?
Of the children.
The flowers, right? Yeah, I admired the beauty
the flowers. Yes,
of all the colorful flowers.
All the colorful flowers. Who admired
the beauty of all the colorful flowers? That's right. AJ, me, admired the beauty of all the colorful flowers.
Me admired the beauty.
Where were the flowers?
Where were the flowers?
Yeah. On the graves, right?
On the
or in the
graves.
cemetery.
In the
right?
cemetery.
The flowers were on the graves.
Flowers on the
in the cemetery.
graves in the cemetery.
Were the flowers
Were
in the
the
park?
flowers in the park?
No, they weren't in the park.
In the park.
Were the flowers in my house?
Flower in my house?
No, they weren't in my house. Where were the flowers?
Where were
the flowers were on the graves in the cemetery.
In the cemetery.
Where did I walk?
Where did I walk?
I walked through the cemetery.
Through the cemetery.
When did I walk through the cemetery?
Through the cemetery.
November 1st, the Day of the Dead.
The Day of
right,
the
November
Dead.
1st, the Day of the Dead, I walked through the cemetery.
What did I walk through the cemetery?
What was the cemetery like?
What was the cemetery like?
Like a party. It was like a party. The cemetery was like a party.
It was like a party. The cemetery
was I curious about this holiday?
Was I?
Yes, I was curious about this holiday.
Yes, I was curious about
Which holiday?
Which holiday
was I curious about? Yes, the Day of the Dead.
The Day of
I
the
was
Dead.
curious about the Day of the Dead.
The Day of the Dead. So I walked.
Through the cemetery. There was also color in the sky. Because many kids were flying kites. Where was the color?
Where was the color?
In the sky, that's right. In the sky.